Now, picking your niche on YouTube as an educational creator is difficult, but it's absolutely key to success, especially if you want to make money. And it's something that I've had to learn the hard way more than once. And I definitely see a lot of people making the same mistakes over and over. And your niche is a lot like your GPS, with your product or service or whatever you would like to sell later on as the end destination. And then your content goes in between and it bridges the gap between point A and point B. So we really want to be getting this right. So in this video, I'm going to be going through the main things that people get wrong and then how you can create your own unique niche of one. So the first thing is that most people don't niche down enough. And I know that many people out there, many creators are often saying that you don't need to niche down. It's not that important. You can be general. I've even seen larger creators do that, and they've since deleted those videos, and now their entire business model is based around getting people to niche down on YouTube. So I have started to see a few smaller creators, similar size to me, up-and-coming ones, where they're again saying the same thing over and over, and that's that you don't need to niche down. And I'm going to be honest, it kind of pisses me off a little bit because it shows a lack of understanding that sometimes people are influencers. Sometimes we have more influence than we are educator. So let me explain that. Basically, these people that say that you don't need to niche down often are charismatic. Maybe they already have a slightly bigger channel, but they're failing to realize that because of their charisma or natural charm in the videos or their uniqueness, they are actually influencers. They have an influencer level, where most of us as educators, we maybe aren't that dynamic on camera to start. We're getting used to it. We're finding our path. So the information that we're sharing is more important and more relevant to the viewer than it is our personality. Whereas if we're an influencer, people are often coming for just seeing us rather than the actual content in the video itself. So therefore, that means they get some flexibility in the type of content that they can create, and a lot of different types of content will work for them. But for most of us, we want to be niching down. You really want to niche down to be able to fix a single problem for a single group of people with a single solution, because that will make it much more congruent and easy for you to get people from point A, remember, your niche, to the end destination of what you want them to buy. So we want the next natural step to actually be your product or service. So in most cases, the main issue that people tend to have is that they are not niching down properly. So what we want to be doing is trying to decide on the point A and where we want to end up, and basically who the people are that we're going to help. And we do want to niche down. The second thing that people then do is that they still don't niche down enough out of fear of being bored with content that they're creating, or out of fear that not necessarily fear, but a desire to help more people. They actually want to help more people, and they feel like being more general will allow them to help more people because what they have to say in their videos or the type of problems that they solve, they believe can benefit everybody. But the issue is when you create a channel or content or a course or program for everybody, it ends up helping nobody. And you end up not doing very well. It's where your courses don't sell, you lack engagement, maybe you've got lots of views on one video and almost none on others, or you get low engagement. They just generally don't grow very well. And on average, according to YouTube stats, niche channels, targeted niche channels, get on average 60% more engagement. So that shows you that when people are all united around a common goal or problem, then you're going to get more passionate engagement. And engagement is generally what turns into sales and leads and, clients later on. So we really want to be niching down. So although you may be thinking, oh, I don't want to niche down, I'm going to be bored, that means I have to create content on the same thing all of the time. This is also not the case. This is a mistake that we all fall into when we think niching down means that we can only make the same type of videos over and over and over, where that just isn't the case. The algorithm has gotten smarter. It understands the overlap. So, for example, if I was going into, let's say, McDonald's and I was going to buy a burger, then let's say the algorithm, if I go into McDonald's, you generally know that most people are going to buy other things. And if I didn't tell you what those other things were, you would probably automatically be picturing them in your head. Maybe it's Coca-Cola, it's French fries, there'll be things like napkins, and maybe there'll be an apple pie. So you automatically know there are going to be other things surrounding the burger that may be accompanying the burger on that mission to have a burger. So that's kind of a loose example. But the point of what I'm saying is YouTube understands the overlap. And if you're fixing a particular problem for a particular group of people, there will be more things surrounding them that you can speak about. So, for example, I help online coaches grow their business with YouTube. And online coaches, I could go even more niche and say that is going to be helping health and fitness coaches, in which case it would be hyper-targeted. But the benefit of this already is that I help one particular group of people grow their business. And the tool that I use to do it is with YouTube. So it's already gone pretty narrow with that. But the benefit that I'm actually growing their business, it gives me broad appeal because I love talking about entrepreneurship. I love talking about business. I love all of these different things. But if I was just a general entrepreneur channel or business channel, or I was speaking about these strategies so that it could benefit everyone, then I'm actually going to be speaking to no one. But I still get to speak on all of those different subjects for this particular group. I just have to relate it to them. So I could actually take any change in the market or any new strategy that I get that I believe can work and tailor it to them and create content around that. So for example, you could also, if I was helping somebody fix lower back pain, there is lots of different types of videos I could talk about, such as why painkillers are not a good idea, types of shoes that are bad for your back. I could literally tie the thread of back pain into many different topics surrounding that channel. The common thread of my channel is around back pain and fixing back pain. But there's lots of different questions and problems and issues that people have that surround that. So you don't actually get pigeonholed. There is actually quite broad. You have a broad ability of things that you can speak to within that particular problem. So it doesn't mean that you're just making the same video over and over. And if you are, you're actually probably thinking about things too narrow. You want to talk about broader things so that you can reach more people in different ways. So it doesn't mean that you have to be narrow. You can just actually think outside of the box and know that YouTube will link it up. The next thing that I see people doing is that they target people that don't have any money. And if you want to make money from YouTube or your education business, then why would you be targeting people that don't have any money? You can obviously go broad, and if you're planning on getting millions of views on your channel, you can sell a low-ticket product that's, say, $10 and still make great money. But you need to be getting the volume, which means chasing views, and you've been pretty darn good at YouTube to be able to get a lot of views in the first place, where speaking to a smaller group of people, being hyper-targeted, even if you get 100 views per video, if they're relevant, you can still generate sales and grow a business around that. But by going broader, and what I see a lot, especially around things like money, making money or saving money, this is a big one. There's a fundamental difference between saving money and making money. One people see as an investment, and one is people trying to be tighter. So I see people often talking about they've got channels or communities around helping people save money, and then they maybe got another channel about being frugal and frugal living. And these are great. You're still going to get broad appeal, and you're going to be in sort of quite a high CPM niche that potentially you're going to get good ad revenue from YouTube. But if you actually think about it from a point of view of selling products and services, what is the chance of people who are trying to save money and trying to be frugal actually buying a course from you? Definitely not high ticket, let alone a low ticket program. These people are actively trying to not buy things. So therefore, why would you be targeting them? And the same issue could be said in many cases about the beginner's market. The beginner's market is the biggest. So if you can convert it, then amazing. But the issue with the beginner's market is that they're not often willing to invest in themselves because they can't necessarily see the return. So unless there's a automatic pain that they're in and they want to pay to fix it now, so I was using a back pain example before, if you were talking to back pain, then obviously people are going to be wanting to pay to get out of that now because it's a real and literal physical pain. But if the pain or urgency is just, it would be nice, then people are less likely to get out of their wallet. So then the benefit of, say, business opportunities or selling business to business is that people often see time, anything that saves them time or anything that makes them money, as a benefit and as an investment, that they get the reward, that the money, the trade-off of money is beneficial. So you want to be targeting people that actually will make you some money. So, and if you want more in-depth training on the way that I recommend that you position your channel and you grow your channel with YouTube for making sales and getting coaching clients and growing your education business, then I will put a link to my free masterclass in the video description, which will go into this in more detail. It's about a 45-minute workshop, which will take you through the different steps of exactly what I do in my business and what I recommend for you. The next part is that they don't select a niche that they're interested in. And this is going to lead us quite swiftly on to the final part of the video, where I'm going to be talking about how to create the niche of one, your niche, and what's going to make your niche and your channel unique. And inevitably, you do need to select something that you're interested in. Because if you're going to be creating content and researching and being engaging and excited with people, then you have to be interested. So an education business, nobody likes a bored teacher. So if you're just looking to try and make a quick buck with coaching or YouTube as an educational business, then you're gonna struggle. You've got to be passionate about what you're doing. And I've made this mistake before where I've gone off and I've tried to focus on what I thought the audience wanted more rather than what I wanted to do. And I very quickly started to hate it. And when you hate it, it kills creativity. You start to almost resent serving people, and this is just it's not beneficial. So this is when I say that your niche normally starts with you, and you are your niche of one. And by this, I mean that you're inevitably trying to serve you. And how do I explain this? So you're either trying to serve someone that was you in the past, or is potentially you now. So your interests, your stories, your skills, your experiences, and your views and opinions on different things are what makes you and your channel unique. You want to bring those out into your channel. But also, when I see a lot of the channels that work out there, that are these sort of niche channels that are really helping one particular group of people with one particular problem, they're generally telling a story from their point of view. It's something that happened to them. They got injured and learned to fix it. They started losing their hair. They got sick. Something that happened to them. Their story is what their channel and their education business is about. Now, not all of us have that particular story, but we do have interests and things that we can teach. So even if it's your skill as a coach that you've learned, you still have your views and opinions. It's still you. It's just the professional part of you. But chances are, if you are teaching fitness, you're probably most likely someone that's still interested in fitness as well. Now, that may be martial arts, it could be yoga, it could be a variety of different things. But your fitness and the things around your lifestyle that you like to do are going to be the perfect overlap to what you actually teach. Because inevitably, you may not be teaching yourself now. You may be teaching yourself from before. So you are the coach of the old you, if that makes sense. So what you're helping people that were where you were. Now, if you're not that educated and you don't believe you have skills that you can teach, and you're not, say, already a coach or expert, then you're going to be doing the opposite. You're going to be someone documenting your journey. You're going to be on a personal development journey of some kind, learning a new skill and documenting it for people. And then as you get a little bit further ahead of people, then you're going to be able to promote and sell something to people, because there's going to be people then further behind you that want that support, or they want to speak to you, or they want coaching from you to help them get to the first hurdle. You may only be 2 steps in to that journey, and there's 10 steps fully in the journey to reach the end destination. But getting started, you'll be targeting the beginners people, and they'll need help from someone that can relate to them. You may have heard a lot of rich people. I've heard Alex Hormozi say this, but I've heard a lot of other people say this as well recently. And that's, you don't speak to the person who is already like so far ahead. For example, if I spoke to Alex Hormozi, I don't know what I would ask him, because he's so far ahead. What I want to know now is where he was when he was trying to make his first few million. So he's on his way to $1 billion now. So there's such a disconnect that he probably can't even relate or barely remember to where I am without maybe checking a journal. So what you want is you actually want to speak to someone that's just ahead of you, just done it, is fresh in their mind, and they can take the next step. So it doesn't mean that you have to be the expert now. But inevitably, you serving you is where I see most people succeeding. And it also becomes easier and fun because you're able to speak to your experiences, your opinions, things that didn't work, things that did work. You're maybe still testing things out. You can tell stories of failure, stories of success. You can tell your story about the pain and the struggle. You can share your experience, and it gets much easier to speak on because it's real. It's the real you. And when you're speaking to the real you, you don't necessarily need a script. You just need a few bullet points, and you can just naturally speak on the subject. You don't have to be trying to fake it. You don't have to be trying to pretend. You don't have to be heavily scripting videos because it's the real you. It's the unique you. And your opinions and views may be polarizing. And the more of you that you share of that is what will make you different and unique. And this is a key thing. You may actually, what you want to do may be in a heavily saturated niche. And it may be that you're struggling to stand out. And it may be that you have to change formats slightly. So maybe you go slightly more vlog style. Maybe you go, if you're doing, say, yoga, maybe you're doing more yoga outside. Or maybe you're doing a particular type of yoga. Or maybe it's how you dress for the yoga. But you change it to make it a bit more unique. You know, me being unique, standing here, I'm standing here, I've got a hat on and a mustache. And although this is me, it makes me a little bit different. So you can still find ways to be different, but your views and opinions and the way that you do things will also make you different. And they will also be what makes you unique and your niche of one. So you will always be different. There will be people, a lot like when you're listening to audiobooks. Sometimes you like a voice and sometimes you don't. And that's because we all like different flavors and different things. Some things annoy us and some things don't. And we're all drawn to different people. And we're normally drawn to people that are more similar to us in terms of their views and the things that they like. If you're out socializing with people and those people are interested in, say, the same thing as you, let's say they like paddle, they like basketball, they like different sports and things, and you're interested in those things, you're going to get along with those people more easily. So inevitably, you are the niche. You should embrace it. Embrace what makes you different. And then try and carve out the slight, embrace that difference. Don't try and replicate everybody online. I think this is a mistake that people make. And don't worry, your niche and who you help, it's about creating a movement around that particular individual and understanding the problem that you're helping them with and what all of these surrounding problems that they have around that. So create your niche of one. It starts with you. Inevitably, you are serving the person who was you. So give it a try. As always, any questions, just ask in the comments below. And if you would like that free workshop on how I would basically position your channel for growing your coaching business, then I will put a link in the video description just below. All right. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.